Nick Dwyer back for the 10th inning, here with another episode of This Day in Sports History. In yesterday's episode, we saw Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints break the single-season NFL reception record. We don't have anything quite like that today, but we do have some NHL milestones, one NHL record, and some Ballon d'Ors to talk about today. So if y'all enjoy this video, leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. This Day in Sports History. And we will start out today in the NHL in 1933, and Montreal Canadiens center Howie Moranes would score in a 3-0 victory over the Detroit Red Wings to get an NHL record 249 career goals, passing Cy Denny for the most all-time in NHL history. Moved to the NFL Championship in 1951, and the Los Angeles Rams would defeat the Cleveland Browns 24-17, and this would be the first coast-to-coast televised NFL title game. Moved to Major League Baseball in 1953, and Dodgers second baseman Jim Gilliam would win National League Rookie of the Year. We have our first Ballon d'Or of the day in 1969, and Milan midfielder Gianni Rivera would win the award ahead of Cagliari forward Luigi Riva and Bayern Munich striker Gerd Mueller. Moved back to the NFL in 1972, and we have one of the most famous plays in NFL history, the Immaculate Reception, when the Steelers would turn a 7-6 deficit into a 13-7 victory in the playoffs after a Franco Harris reception basically scooping the ball before it hit the ground into a touchdown. Stay in 1972, this time moved to college football, and at the second edition of the Fiesta Bowl, number 15 Arizona State would defeat Missouri 49-35. Moved back to the NHL 6 years later in 1978, and New York Islanders center Brian Trottier would set an NHL record scoring 6 points in one period in a 9-4 victory over the New York Rangers. Stay in the NHL in 1987 now, and Buffalo Sabres goaltender Tom Barrasso would lead the Sabres to a 5-2 victory over the Red Wings to record his 100th NHL victory. And with this victory, it would make him the youngest player to reach the milestone at just 22 years old, 9 months. Now moved to the NBA in 1992, and Michael Jordan would score 57 points to lead the Chicago Bulls over Washington in a 107-98 victory, and this would give Phil Jackson his 200th career victory. Take a quick break off of the NBA, move to Major League Baseball in 1994, and the baseball owners would impose a salary cap and revenue sharing on the striking players. Safe to say the players did not like this. But we moved back to the NBA in 1997, and we would go back to the Bulls, back to Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson would become the quickest coach to reach his 500th career victory in only 682 games, as the Bulls would win on the day 94-89. Jackson a .733 winning percentage at this point. Stay in 1997, go to the Ballon d'Or, and Barcelona/Inter striker Ronaldo would win his first of 2 Ballon d'Ors. Finally in 1997, in the NHL, Colorado Avalanche's Jari Kurri would become the 8th NHL player to score 600 career goals at the time, and this would actually be his second to last goal of his career in a 5-1 victory over the Los Angeles Kings. Stay in the NHL in 1999, and Paul Coffey of the Carolina Hurricanes would record an assist in a 4-3 loss to the Ottawa Senators, but he would become the first defenseman and 8th player overall to reach 1,500 points. 1 year later, move up to 2000 and go to the Cricket Women's World Cup, and New Zealand would defeat Australia by 4 runs, 184-180, to win their first and only Cricket Women's World Cup. 7 years later, back to the NBA, in Madison Square Garden against the Knicks, Kobe Bryant would lead the Lakers to a 95-90 victory, and with 39 points on the day, he would become the youngest player ever at the time to reach 20,000 points, 29 years old, 122 days. And we will end today's video off in the MLB in 2019 with a big free agent signing, as the Blue Jays would sign free agent pitcher Hyun-Jin Ryu to a 4-year, $80 million contract. So that's what happened on this day in sports history. If I left anything out, I do apologize, but I'll see everybody tomorrow for Nick Dwyer in the 10th inning.